Dan St.Yves, and for today I'm talking with Mark Bellamy.
Hi.
Mark, the last time we talked, you were directing and just about to take on a role on stage for the last few shows of 39 Steps here at Stage West Calgary.
Right.
Now, you've since gone on, and I'm going to just try and hit on a couple of the most current things here.
Okay.
You've taken on the role of artistic producer at Lunchbox Theatre.
I'm about to do that. I haven't quite started yet, but that's coming up after this. But yep.
Excellent. But you're also currently, as we speak right now, just in the middle of starting to get Stage West Avenue Q up and ready to go, just finishing up a run of Shrek the Musical for Storybook Theatre. About to that, ogres, puppets, were you just starting to get tired of directing humans?
Yeah, no. It's actually a little even more complicated when you're working with puppets and ogres, all the technical things that have to happen, especially with puppets, as we're learning on Avenue Q right now. Taking actors who have certain skill sets and training them to be puppeteers and not just puppeteering one character but multiple characters in the show. It's really quite challenging, and to do it in a really condensed amount of time, because we don't have a ton of rehearsal time here, it's crazy, but it's fun.
Typically about 2 weeks to rehearsal before it opens?
Basically, we do the show, we have about 12 and a half days before we have an audience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, this is a little bit different. It's based on or inspired a little bit by Sesame Street, but this is in fact not at all Sesame Street.
No, it's Sesame Street for grown-ups. It's basically what would happen if Sesame Street were more sort of more in the real world for 20-somethings. So, you know, but it's structured very much like Sesame Street, where there's songs about words that we have to learn and concepts we have to embrace. Like there's a song about racism and how everyone is a little bit racist. That's one of the songs. There's a song called The Internet is for Porn. You know, so it's not for kids. These are not children's puppets. These are grown-up puppets.
With all these adult themes and stuff like that, for audience members, what could they be expecting to wander into for this?
It's great fun. That's what they're going to wander into. They're going to wander into something, if you've seen Sesame Street or The Muppet Show, which we all have, there's a lot of things that look really familiar, and that's the thing. The puppets look like puppets from Sesame Street. So it's like seeing things from your childhood, but in a completely new light and in a completely different world, and doing things you don't normally expect to see puppets doing.
Now, this thing has won Tonys, all sorts of awards.
Everything.
What is it that endears this, despite having a bit of an adult theme? What endears it to the audience?
I think it is partly the familiarity we have with Sesame Street and how it's so steeped in our culture and so steeped in our subconscious, and it's kind of in our zeitgeist. So that's part of it. And the other thing is, the music is incredibly great. The tunes are fantastic. It's hilariously funny. And there's some really wonderful lessons that do come out of it. There's some really wonderful things that we do learn. And watching live actors working with puppets, there's so many layers to this show. It's really a very rich experience.
As a actor yourself and director now, there's also the writer in all of this. A writer comes up with a concept, but the director gets to kind of take it, run with it, and put their vision onto it. How much leeway do you have when you take on something like that from the original production?
It depends. It depends on the show. It depends on the construct. Something like, for example, Shrek, which was done on Broadway, we had to sort of completely reimagine it for a much smaller theater that doesn't have all of the tricks and mechanized scenery that they have on Broadway. Something like Avenue Q, you kind of want to keep it true to what it originally was intended to be. And because it is very much intended to be that sort of Sesame Street thing, so the street with the houses, you don't really go too far off the map. One of my rules is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And don't reinvent the wheel if you don't have to.
You have had an amazing career here in Calgary. Just to date. Musicals, comedies, dramas. Is there one elusive production that you have not had a chance to bite your teeth into?
Oh gosh, I would have said Sweeney Todd a few years ago, but I got to do that one. That was one. This is another one, Avenue Q. So I'm slowly taking them off my list. I think probably something like Sunday in the Park with George, which is Stephen Sondheim, which is probably one of my favorite shows, or A Little Night Music, both of which are Sondheim shows. I love both of those, and I would kill to do either one of them. But there's, you know, there's so many.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Avenue Q here at Stage West.
Awesome.
Opens up June 26th, and good luck when you take over your new role at Lunchbox Theatre.
Great,
Thanks so
Dan.
much, Mark.
Thank you.